like this. So you're already tight, and most likely you're going to toss the ball too far behind you because you're gripping the ball that way. So instead of doing that, what can we do to fix that? So we can, for example, put the ball a little bit higher into the fingertips. So now if you look at my hand, it's a little bit more relaxed, right? So I do not like the word toss because toss implements to me always something fast. I like the word placement. So when we're tossing the ball up, I actually like to call it placing the ball up. We're setting the hitting arm up to serve. So holding the ball in the tips will certainly release pressure, and as more tense you are, you're going to be more struggling with the serve because, as I said, most likely you're going to toss it too far. The second mistake I see a lot of times is when players don't keep a straight arm. The players, there's two ways how they do that. Ideally, you want to have, as we just said earlier, the ball in the fingertips, and you want to have a straight arm, because with the straight arm, you are able to keep the ball always at the same spot when you toss it up. So keep a straight arm and you will have a higher success rate on your toss. The third mistake I see a lot of times, and that happens usually to players that are not as strong, and especially kids, because they are not physically developed as adults. What they do is they start very low here and then they toss the ball up, and most of the times it's not where it's supposed to go. And that can be fixed super easy, because what happens is if they're low here, their body compensates for the toss, and you don't want that. So what you can do is you start simply the kids or the grown-ups. You start them higher off, they're right here. And then when they rock back to the hip, they toss the ball up, and they're gonna have it easier because they have I call it the longer way of acceleration. So that's the preparation. You start higher, drop, and go up. So you get momentum. You have something going. So you don't start from a static position and try to compensate with your body. Try that out next time you go on the court. If you're one of the players that starts too low and you feel like you don't have enough energy to keep the ball, toss it up without help from the rest of your body. Fourth mistake I see a lot when I watch recreational players serve is when they serve, both arms go back. So you see a lot of serves that grown-ups start like this, and they go like this and toss it behind. So ideally, when you look at the pros, what you want to do is you want to make sure when you rock back that you toss the ball up first, and then your racket goes up. Why is that so important? Is because you can focus only on that toss in the first part, so there's no distraction part on it. So that's very important. You can put your focus on that toss first, and then you get the hitting arm up. That will make it way easier for a lot of players, because a lot of us can only focus on one thing really good, and that's the toss in that first moment, and then you think about getting the racket up. Mistake number 5. A lot of recreational players start with the body facing to the other side already, and they serve like this, and their toss is not consistent. So how can you fix that? So don't start open and like this. You don't want to start with the racket right in front of you. Put the racket in a 45 degree in front of you, and most likely you're going to have a great toss because you are already ready to go from here. If you start here, a lot of your toss is going to go to the left side. So you start like this, you're going to see a lot of players serving like this. And if you start on the right side in a 45 degree, I always tell my players straight back. You look with the chin over your shoulder, you stay your opponent down, you go back, and then you're going to keep the ball where you need it, which is between like 12 and 1 o'clock, and not over there to the left. The next mistake is flicking the wrist. A lot of players, when they serve, flick that wrist. And some have physical limitations maybe, so that's why they have to do that, and others just do it out of habit. So one thing you can do, it's a really good tip, is if you hold the ball like this, like you have a glass in your hand, you want to raise the glass up here without spilling anything out of the water. So you're more like this. So if you're like this, you can't flick the wrist. So I helped many players that had problems with that. They were just starting like this, and then they were tossing the ball up, and that helped them. Because you're tempted to flick the wrist if you have if you have the ball in your hands like this. All right, if you're still with me, guys, those were like 6, 7 super common mistakes on the toss. Now I'm going to show you a couple of drills you can do to practice your toss a little bit to get it more consistent. So the first drill you can do to work a little bit on the toss is have a basket in a 45-degree in front of you, and as always when we contact the ball we are like a foot in front of us, so you want it right there, and then you work on your toss, and it's easy, it falls in, it's a big target. This is really good because you want to have a high success rate, especially if you have kids. If you're an adult watching this right now and you watch that for your kids, this is really good. And then to make it a little bit harder and this is more advanced, you can just put the racket down right here, do the same away from it again, and you toss it up, and ideally it wants to hit the string bat, and you just practice the toss. And I do not like to work toss, guys. It's more like a placement. So we're placing the ball up. Toss always involves something that's fast, so I don't like to use that term with my students. So that was a great exercise and a great progression there. Let's get to the next one. So guys, this next drill is really fun. You have a tube here where we pick the balls up, and ideally if you have a bigger cone, you have a bigger space for the ball to go in. So you position yourself again 45-degree, like back here. So as you see, you need a little practice, but what it does is, and what I like about it is, you slow this a little bit down, so you guide it, you control your toss. A lot of times the toss is, like as I said, it's too fast. You're placing the ball up there. And I know even though it's not the right height, you're gonna probably toss, it doesn't matter. It's about the feel to toss the ball in that thing here. And then we have the fence. We can use the fence for all the 4 directions. You just have to position yourself differently. If you toss the ball too far in front, you get close to the fence and you toss it up, because now if you toss it too far, it will go over the fence. You don't want that, right? And then you can do the same thing. You position yourself right here, close to the fence, and you want to keep it up. So if you toss the ball on the right, because you don't want to go over the fence over there and pick every single ball up you had. And the same thing, if you toss the ball too far to the left, you stay close to it here, and you toss it up right here. So the fence can help you definitely to improve your toss as well. It's easy, it's everywhere to access, and you can work. And last but not least, it's personal preference what you like. Either you keep the straight toss, or they have a toss they call the J toss, where you bring the ball back here and you kind of you guide the ball forward like this. So this is preference, whatever works the best for you to keep the ball straight up there. For me it's a straight arm. Some people like the J toss, and some people I even have seen do on the first serve a straight arm, and on the second serve for the kick they do the J toss. This is totally up to you, whatever you feel more comfortable with. All right guys, it's been a lot of tossing and serving, and I hope you get something out of it, obviously. Yeah, if you saw yourself in a certain situation, practice that. Let me know in the comment section below how it went and if it helped, and thank you guys.